All right, you guys, it's going to be a long night. Or for many of you. I feel like I need a lighter colored wood. Let's see if I can find something. What is this? These are willow. I can do some willow. It's kind of big. This is all in preparation for wand making that I'll get to someday. I thought I was going to get to it in Hode, but, you know, life does funny things. The willow wand. I really like the willow wands, by the way. When I started doubting that it even mattered to have a wand, I was doing the dragon egg readings in my head when I was on a walk, and I picked up a stick, then I went 10 times faster. And I was like, yeah, do with a wand. I could break it a little bit. See what happens. There we go. That's not as bad. I'm gonna enjoy my time. If I make it and I put it on Etsy, I will label it as the wand I used to do the NETZACH egg. So if you're the person that's pinging me that goes, I want that wand, when you make it, you can check once it's all sanded and polished and nice. Then you can pay for it. So, this one, I believe this is from the Weeping Willow, one of them, in the Peter Pan Park. All right. There are a couple on the riverbank, one of them. So you guys, some of you have seen the willow tree artwork. That's from, some of it is from the riverbank at the Peter Pan Park. All right, the dragon egg for NETZACH. However complex you guys think that this is getting, it's only going to get more. So we just build our muscles. And maybe for Tiferet, I might have the time to get it days ahead of time. But Tiferet's egg is different. And I'm going to do an entire video that's just to display what it's going to be like, so you can prepare for the Tiferet egg. And that video is going to be titled The Rosy Cross Dragon Egg. And I will screen share and draw it out so that you have the grids and the downloads for it. It's rad, by the way. It's much more powerful. But like all great things in life, requires way more work. All right, the NETZACH egg. So we're going to do the egg. We're going to do the yolk. And then we're going to do the dimensions. And then we're going to do the magics. And then we're going to do the shells. So we'll do 3 shells around the yolk and 3 octahedrons and shells around the yolk with some stuff. And then we'll do as many shells around the master as we need. And in the dimensions, we layer the elements also. Is there anything else I want to add? No. This one is 4 parts because the dimensions are going to be 2 different videos. And it can take time. So we're starting with dimension quadruple 4, and then we're going to dimension 49. Remember that this class is dimensional mastery also. So you have to begin to learn how to run these dimensions. And in Tiferet, we're going to go to dimension like 59 or 58 or 62. I don't remember yet. Okay. So we'll end up at the top of the tree with the Keter egg or the Ensof eggs being 144 dimensions. So we're building up our mental capacities to do this work. So it helps to break it down in 1-hour video segments. The yolk is going to be the box or boxes you occupy the most. It could be 2 floors or 3 floors. It could be 1 floor. And remember, the boxes are just the internal structure of the whole egg. So it ends up actually looking like a yolk. For me, I do the yolk in this room and the next floor above. So it's floor 2 and floor 3. And I do that because this is the room I film in and work in, and the higher room is where I sleep and do other work. And that's the bathroom, etc. Okay? So you might want to think about how you want to do it. But it should be where you spend most of your energy. Let's go. Draw your 9 boxes. Go 5 boxes above the surface level of the earth and 4 boxes below. You could just do 5 boxes and 4 boxes. You think about it in your brain, and the boxes are metal braids reinforcing. And then you draw in the floors and the ceilings clockwise. That should be 10 layers. Earth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 6 layers. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's another 4 layers, so it's 10 layers. And you go clockwise, and you can throw in the anchor balls at the corners. Man, I've gotten lazy. Sometimes I forget how powerful and how magical I can get. Because I rest on my laurels from last month. Don't worry, I do other building of egg grids. They're just different. you're going to find you can only do so much in a day and then for a month and then stay sustainable. Making sure the bottoms are good. I really like to feel it like it's real. So if you watched The Mermaid, the Zohar is actually going to build this house and kill what was not functional before. It's like on the nose. Okay. Okay. Now, make sure that if that does not feel good enough, just keep going. If you want to do, I'm hearing the question, should we do like a miniature 9 boxes in the yoke? You can. That's not a bad idea. And then do it with the pyramids. It's going to look like a spiraling DNA pattern, okay? And it's going to feel like it's floating, but it's reinforcing the stability of, and it's not going to be like in the center. It's going to be like a little off center, but in the center, but off center. Charlie's saying, in the center, that's the heart of heart that dragon magic is usually referring to. Now, do the central column all the way up and all the way down, the 9 boxes. But make sure that the pyramids are at the top and the bottom of your cubes, your boxes. And then you have the anchor balls at the vertices, the top of the pyramid and the bottom of the bottom pyramid. And make sure those metal wires are braiding and weaving in. And make sure there's the pineal and the pituitary on the bottom and the top pyramids, and that the central column anchors in up and down. You should start to feel this going, yeah, this egg's way more solid than the other ones. Much stronger. much more healingful. And one of you guys goes, I feel like a real witch. Yeah. It's gonna get stronger. All right. We're going to send the wires from the central column. Ooh, let's do the stabilizing beams, support beams. So from every corner of each box to plug in to the central spine in the central column. So you have to think of it. So if you're like looking at the outside of the tower, you're seeing every box with these X's all the way through each box. Like plugging into like a Tiferet inside of each box. But it's not necessarily Tiferet in each box. But it's like the center. Metal braids going down and up. And then it crawls up the spine and down the spine through the pineal and pituitaries. And then into the bottom anchor ball and the top anchor ball and braided through it. Yeah, that's starting. Now, those wires braided through, we'll start searching for higher pearls going up and down. Plugging in, latching on, and pulling them down. And then climbing. So it will find at least 3 pearls. Plug in, like sperm plugging into eggs. And then it should spider shoot out more wires with each plug into a pearl, and then find more pearls, and then like sperm to an egg, plug in, wire expand with to more wires, and then find more pearls. 3 iterations should be enough, but if you're good, you'll do 7. And then at least go to the central sun, great central sun. Should be a giant white pearl, and you root into that. You are now connecting to the house of Slytherin in the physical world on Earthstar. This is your Slytherin initiation. I will run you through all of them. If I can get to Ravenclaw, I will. There are a certain number of things I need to do and accomplish to do the Ravenclaw. Hufflepuff's easy, it's the Mayan lineage. But if anybody knows the Mayan lineage, it's not that easy. Why are they not Gryffindor? They're not warriors. They're spiritual warriors, but like Hufflepuff style. So make sure that all of those DNAs are going into that central sun, and then go down. Down. I had to tell the Dalai Lama in the astral world today that he was not the House of Gryffindor. He hadn't even passed Hode yet. To even be in the House of Gryffindor, you would have to have gotten through Slytherin. You would have to master it and understand it. It's part of those delusional fantasies you guys are so fond of. Can't even send me an email. Believe me, he's not Gryffindor. He's not even past Hode. He's not chivalrous nor honest. And from my point of view, he's not even good. Which is why Baba G makes fun of him so much. Okay, make sure that those wires go down to the Earth Star. If you've already done it, then do other things. Strengthen your beams, braid more wires, more reinforcements, get deeper. So plug those wires into the ground, into Earth Star and Earth Star of Earth Star and Earth Star of Earth Star of Earth Star. And then do another iteration. Your mantra should be this: I'd rather be a Slytherin witch than a Gryffindor muggle. And then we climb. So who is more Slytherin, the mystery school, the fairies, the mer people, people like the Freemasons and the Illuminati? The mystery school has not even come close to getting into Hufflepuff. Most of them can barely handle NETZACH. I haven't seen Goodney be a hero to me or stop separating himself from me. The school is usually only as good as its leader. Good thing the school is very fond of mutiny. If they can handle NETZACH, that'd be awesome. As far as I'm concerned, there's actually only like 5 people in NETZACH that can stay in it without getting kicked out and back to Hode. Correct, and that's because they haven't passed the Nexa yet. At the highest, Goodney can possibly be that man fairy that helps out Maleficent. So NETZACH. He'd have to get past Star and become better than her to ever get into Gaebera. Star would eat him alive. Hey, Goodney, the NETZACH hasn't really come through because you look like you're old and decrepit. Instead of like a 21-year-old like Baba G. Does everybody understand NETZACH now? So I'm referring to the male fairy in Maleficent 2. But we're not going to watch Maleficent 2 until the Path of the Phoenix. Unless you want to do it both times. The Path of the Phoenix will be 42, and that would be class number 42, and it will be from Gaebera to Hokmah. There's a Dumbledore grid in that. When Dumbledore takes Fawkes and goes, "It is not my intention." And then goes, and then disappears into the flames. It's brilliant. That's path number 42. Oh yeah, magic can be good. We just start at the bottom, just remember that. So, Make sure you can keep crawling down and doing more iterations. And the roots. So we're at minutes 36. It should take about 30 minutes to make a really good, strong tower. I'm hearing somebody say, at the least. And Charlie says, at the most. Because we have other things to do. Okay, so we've got the pearls, and make sure you're plugged into Earth Star, Earth Star, Earth Star, Earth Star, up Earth Star, many iterations down, and then into the core of the Earth. Okay, now we've got the tower set up. Create an imaginary shell. And Protego Totalum, the area. So it's like you're going to encapsulate the tower, and then you're also going to do a secondary version around the yolk. So you have Protego Totalum the yolk, Protego Totalum the egg. The grids. So I would do the yolk 144 and 1728. And then I would do the master 144. I'll go the master 1728. And I go the master 49 because it's getting stuck. I'm wondering why. I go the yolk 49. Make sure that that's there, and that feels decent. Sometimes I try going higher, sometimes I try going lower. Then I go 12. It's still stuck at 49. I do not get afraid with my brain about being incompetent or infertile. I will go lower if I have to go lower, and I do not let my ego get in the way. Okay, so if I have to start at 0 or at 1, I do that. So I'm going to start at 1 for the master. Go 7. There we go. The 7 one works. And then the 12 one. We're doing this bigger and stronger because we're going to run the lower dimensions that we haven't really filled in the egg yet. So it's okay. It's okay if we don't know how to do anything. That's where the gift of honest humility comes in. You should have that if you've graduated Hode. It's better to be a 0 in NETZACH than a hero in Hode. And then I do bubbles of just zeros, and then all of a sudden everything opens up. So that's okay. That's why we just keep sometimes going lower. I like that because it's like mermaid magic. It's like repressed bubbles that are like you've lowered yourself so much, now you're under the water. And then it's like the bubbles coming through. It's kind of a beautiful magic. To lower yourself that much that now you're below the Earth's surface. Technically. Now this is where your power comes from. It's from the emotions. That's why Ophelia in Pan's Labyrinth is on this list. It's the underworld. That's why it's on them, and it's just like the Little Mermaid. But you could also see Ophelia's world and the Muggles trapped in Hode. It's very different. You might start feeling God putting moss and brown stuff into the egg. Ground you. And I might start feeling like the fairy portals are or the Fey magic's coming through. The room might start feeling a little less matrixy and more and then nature coming into your room, kind of like Jumanji, where you could smell it. I walked around the palace pond today, and it smelled like salt water. And winds of change are coming. There's nothing like feeling like the mermaids are starting to come through. To understand that all the rules are changing. The end of life as we know it. If you're feeling that I'm proud to be in the house of Slytherin energy, that's good. There's an honor to it. Now Protego Totalum again, the yoke, and see if you can do it in the lower dimensions also. Or the lower resolution also. So like one works really well. 0. And then 0 creates a whole other bubble of really tight 1728 level. How about 0? I kind of like it. It's like the air bubbles from inside the water, like mermaid magic. And then 000. That feels good. And then we do the Salvio Hexia. Oh, maybe let's do quadruple 0. Or more zeros. It feels good. All right, let's Salvio Hexia. Generic over the egg. Start with 49. Just that feels good. 144 salviohexia. Let's go lower. Let's go 12 salviohexia. And 144 salviohexia. You can't handle it, go into the lower 7 and 1 and see if it, or the air bubbles of 0 and 0, 0. If you go to the double, it gets the 1728 salviohexia running. It's funny how it works like that. Pockets. Magic. This is why you do not look at somebody's physical life and judge them. You look at their soul. And if they're old, even if they're a failure, you go, they have something. It's just repressed. And especially if they're old souls. This may be why the Dalai Lama maybe someday get to claim Gryffindor. Someday. Or right now, he's just nothing. Good salviohexia. We've got about 10 minutes left on this video. We will octahedron and get the shells around the yolk and this, and then we will do the next video and we will start layering the dimensions. And then that will be 2 videos, and then the 4th one will be the spells and the final egg shell. We do the Fianto Duri. Oh, do the salviohexia on the yolk. So we double time it. I actually got to go into the Royal Gardens at Kew Gardens, and there was a beehive, a metal beehive, and it was like, yeah, I'm in a salviohexia dragon egg. It was awesome. It's great. Look up Kew Gardens and look up the hive. And then if you're in England, go to it and stand in the center and get like the download. What did I like the most at Kew Gardens? I went there to find the witch hazel because I didn't know how to find the witch hazel tree in England without going to Kew Gardens. So I went there and I found it. I found the yellow ones. I didn't find the orangey red ones. They're probably going to be in bloom in the winter. So I'll go back. It took a while to find the witch hazel, by the way. And then Simon found it. I found one version. He found the plethora of the other. We had split. And then I found one version and he found the next. But that's why I hadn't gotten the witch hazel tree drawn out yet, because I hadn't gotten the pictures or the experience of being in a witch hazel tree physically. So that's why I ran late in that. And then I got the apple trees. That's easy. And Tea-Fret will be the holly bush or the holly tree, and I definitely get a lot of that. That's also all over Kew Gardens. You know, the stuff I didn't like that much in Kew Gardens was all the California stuff, because it felt like the California piney cedars, but it didn't. It felt like a really sterile version of the California woods. It was sad. English people don't understand California. They really don't. Maybe the Californians don't understand the English people. And that's okay. But I'm betting you I could probably put together a much nicer country cottage rose garden than the English people could create California woods section of their. What else was cool at Kew Gardens? Not that much. Oh, the dragon temple. That was kind of rad. In the Japanese garden. The Japanese garden's pretty cool at Kew Gardens. Also, all the cedars. All right. You might think that I'm just wasting time giving you all the downloads of trees and energy coming through from NETZACH. But this was my what do you call? I want to say vacation, my download for NETZACH. Japanese gardens, Japanese maples, all the different types of maples. And we have the beehive salviohexia grid come through. We have the rose gardens. That sucked at Kew Gardens. Just a little bit of NETZACH there. And then what else? Ooh, ice. There was not much litter at Kew Gardens. All right. Viento-Duri. It did make me sad. I go, this is the best of the best on planet Earth. Ugh. into England of the royal gardens, then that fucking sucks.